Hi guys, it's Connor, owner of GTV Reviews. I hope everyone is well. This is going to be my first YouTube video, and one of the best ways I thought to start off would be to do a introduce myself, introduce GTV Reviews, and a Q&A. So yeah, obviously thank you to everyone who has pushed me to do this. First of all, probably best thing to do is introduce GTV Reviews. So it's been running for about nearly 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in June. Really didn't know how to start. I did a little bit of review work for another website. Really enjoyed it to start with, and then sort of found some of the content I was writing was still good, but it wasn't something I was that passionate about. I then sort of had a number of friends, family members say, look, your writing's very good. You're obviously quite passionate about it. Why don't you just get into doing your own stuff, your own website, and do it your way? I think having that little push was something that I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. Henceforth, gave birth to GTV Reviews, which is game and TV reviews. Mostly what I do is just review sort of films, TV shows, games, obviously big card games, and just sort of overall it's just my opinion of sort of releases, games that I've enjoyed over the past. I also do stream on Facebook and Twitch. There was about 3 of us. It was me, my older brother, and a guy called Friel from work. We all just used to play on a Friday night, Thursday night, and then just thought out of nowhere, I've done odd little bits of streaming here, why don't I try and reach into that as well? That kind of again gave birth to the subsection, which was the stream teams. Quite regularly we will just jump onto COD on a Friday night. All it was just banter and us taking the mick out of each other, and that was really what I enjoyed most about it. And then from there I decided, okay, I want to start doing things on my own. Again, you can tune in on Twitch and Facebook to catch those on a Tuesday. My fiance streams on a Thursday. Fridays, again, back to COD's night, and then Sunday nights we do a spooky session. Without further ado, I think, let's get to know me, get to know the page. Let's kick off with the questions. So I did a poll on a Q&A on Instagram. People submitted what they wanted, but yeah, it would just be, letting you know what the answers are as best I can. The first question I was asked is, which video game do you wish had a different ending, and if so, what? This was quite an interesting question because I am the worst person for an ending ever, like the end of a film, end of a TV series. I don't know if I big it up too much in my head of what I want it to be, that then it doesn't turn into that. In the answer to the question, I probably have to say one of two, really. Now that we all know Days Gone isn't going to be getting a sequel, when it did end, it really left you wanting more and wanting to get to that next chapter. I think for me, Days Gone, because of what's happening currently, I would want that to end differently. So much uncertainty of, are we going to be getting a second one? I'd want that closure. If it wasn't that because of the events that are happening, in the game I would probably say Batman Arkham Knight. Only on the basis of, don't get me wrong, it was an amazing sort of reveal that I kind of think anyone who played that game knew that the whole Batman actually outed himself as Bruce Wayne. I kind of feel like that, for me, was a big, really you couldn't take it anywhere else with it. I would have liked to seen it afterwards in the bid of a potential team up between the likes of Batman, Nightwing, Red Hood. I think that would have been quite an interesting dynamic to explore. If it wasn't for, like I said, what's going on in today's world with Days Gone, it would have been the Batman Arkham Knight doing, just because I would have wanted to carry on with that story. Next question is, what made you decide to review things, and what game started your love for gaming? Sort of previously mentioned in the intro, I never really knew I wanted to become a reviewer or reviewed games or anything like that until it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I was just sort of not sure what I wanted to do for work. Guy I used to go to school with put a thing up on Twitter saying that they were looking for reviewers. Never done anything like this. I didn't know what I was getting myself in for, didn't know really what to expect. There's no harm in trying it. So I thought I'd drop him a message. I spoke to a couple of guys that worked there. I went to 2 events with them. It was really just sort of going from that small stepping stone to then, sort of like I say, family members, friends going, your writing's really good, your passion comes across in the writing. Just from there, yeah. The next question is, what's your main goals in life? Not really review or gaming orientated, which is quite different. One that I've not really actually given much thought to because I didn't really ever know how to answer this one. Strangely, I kind of just, I take things as it comes, sort of thing. So for me, I'm quite happy just living day to day, but obviously there are things I want to do. Biggest goals for me would be to just get into a job that I enjoy going to work for, having a healthy family. when I eventually start that. I think anyone's sort of main goal is to sort of be a good parent and just have a good life. You know, don't. I've seen it. You know, you hear about all the time that people sort of really do get bogged down with work, and it really affects their, you know, their health. And I think from seeing that personally in, you know, my own eyes, I think just have a good life. You know, that's probably the biggest goal, is just enjoy it, do what you want to do, and just enjoy yourself. Like, that's all I would probably say is my main goal, is just, yeah, enjoy the time I'm living, really. One of the next questions is, any tips on how to start your own streaming channel? So for this one, it's a little bit weird, because it's something that I'm still even, you know, getting to grips with myself. Probably biggest tip is find something you enjoy playing, or find a group of people who you enjoy playing with, and just stick with it, because it comes across so much. It comes across in your streams when you are enjoying something so much more than if you're forcing yourself to sort of play it because you know it potentially does well. You're just not very chatty, you're not really involved in the game. Again, yeah, find a game you enjoy. If you've got people that want to do it with you, great. If not, do it on your own, but just do it when you want to do it. Don't force yourself to do it. When I've streamed because I wanted to, that's when I enjoy it more than when I feel like I have to do it. Big thing, build a community. Instagram, Discord, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be, get to know people. Overall, enjoy it. Next one is, what's your favourite console? If I had to go for a brand, I think hands down, without a doubt, it would be Sony. I've owned every single console they've made. I had a PS1, PS2, I had about 2 or 3 versions of the PS3. I've got the original one, the Pro, and the Slimline PS3, a PS4, and then obviously now have a PS5. So without a doubt, Sony is my go-to on branding for consoles. I'd have to say it'd be my PS4, just because of, I bought it after selling an Xbox One. So I was really in that weird transition of, I owned an Xbox, no one really had one, but loads of my friends and family members had PS4. So I was kind of like, okay, I need to go from Xbox to PS4. I've always loved PlayStation, let's go back to it, sort of thing. And just found myself adding more and more to the library so quickly, that I think that was, yeah, one of the big reasons that I think the PS4 will be my favourite. Next one is actually quite a good question. What game did you think you would absolutely love, but after playing it you didn't? Being honest, I have 2 answers for this. The first one, I think, was Cyberpunk. Like, I've really struggled to get back into that game. I got it in the December, you know, release, after it being pushed back a number of times. Finally got hold of it. I was like, yeah, you know, got a PS5, great, this should work perfectly. And I've probably played about half hour, 45 minutes of it. I'll tend to drop a game if it doesn't pull me into the storyline quite quickly. And for me, it's just one of those that I just look at it and just think, nah, I'm just not feeling this. I expected such big things from it, and it's just never really delivered. Cyberpunk is the one that I say, for me, is one that the whole, sort of everyone in the world who bought the game experienced. But the one for me that's closer to home is actually Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts is a game that I have probably played countless amounts of times since I was 11 or 12. I love that game. Every time I play it, I've played it, you know, a number of times over. I've owned the game like 3 times over. Originally on PS2, PS3 release, PS4 release. So again, I've never been shy in rebuying that game because of how much I enjoy it. 1 and 2 were, well, specifically 2 was phenomenal. Like, it was just a breath of fresh air for Kingdom Hearts. But then the 3rd one, it was that highly anticipated, like, oh my god, we're getting a 3rd one, this is going to be amazing. But then it kept getting delayed, it kept getting pushed back, and you were kind of like, the more you wanted to be hyped for it, you kind of couldn't get too hyped because you just knew that it was going to be another thing that got delayed. Did eventually release it. It's awful. I've never hated a game more in my life. I have completed it, just felt rushed, awful. There were bits that just seemed to have been chucked in to fill it, like the whole form and drive aspect, that people were then switching to being a roller coaster or a teacup, and it just never really made sense. I know it ties into the whole Disney world aspect, but that was never ever really an element in the first two. And I think without a doubt, unfortunately, game that I thought was going to be amazing and ended up hating was Kingdom Hearts 3. The next question is, what sports do you play or have you played? Some of you may have seen from my Instagram that I do play hockey. So I used to play down in Southampton where I lived from the age of about, like I say, 12 or 13 till I was about 21, 22. Left, moved to where I live now in Andover. I didn't pick it back up until last year. I've never been good at football. You know, used to try and play basketball at school. My mum used to play, her mum used to play, brother plays it. I was back in Southampton, you know, I achieved promotions. I was the youngest captain in the club I played for at the time. When I moved, I kind of stepped away from playing hockey for a while. And then sort of out of nowhere, just really wanted to go back to it. I missed playing sport, I missed the social aspect of it. Just before lockdown last year, went back to join Andover, who I now play for. Do you know what? I really enjoy it. I'm glad I made the decision to go back. I've started even writing the match reports for that as well. Hockey's like the big one for me. Next question is, favourite old school gaming consoles. This is a bit of an interesting one because there's a number that you could sort of go for really here. I'm torn between two. The PS1, that was my first ever original console. At the same time, I really love the Game Boy. It was so easy to pick up and like carry around with you. There were so many good games that came with it. I just think Game Boy is up there. One question that I was asked is, if I could spend a day with a YouTuber, who would that be? I was actually, funnily enough, speaking to my fiance about this yesterday, and that we are big fans of the Sidemen. Hi guys, sorry about that. Battery died. Note to self, make sure you charge more than one battery. Apologies, positioning might be a bit weird as I've just jumped back in to finish off the video. I'm going to finish off right where we left off. This one, as I said, was going to be Bazinga, which is Ethan from the Sidemen. For two reasons really. I think Ethan is one of the funniest members of the team himself, just in the challenges they get involved with. Like, he takes everything on the chin, like it's never, you know, he doesn't take it to heart. Seeing the personal life change he's had to go through as well, I think that would be quite an interesting person to speak to, just to sort of, you know, see what get to know him, get his thoughts on what, you know, he had to go through. I think anything like a personal struggle, you just applaud someone who can come out the other side of it the way he has done. And the second YouTuber I would like to spend the day with would be Chunks. He kind of comes in and out of the Sidemen videos, and Chunks is just funny. You know, you see him on Soccer AM doing a lot of the football videos with, you know, the likes of James Maddison, and Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, like the dances he makes up for these people to celebrate with. I just think he's probably such a lovable character, and like people just want to get to know him, have a laugh with him. Like, he seems like such a nice, genuine guy. Celebrations that the footballers do are just absolutely spot on. Who doesn't miss Peter Crouch in the Robot? These are some of the best dance moves out there. It would definitely have to be Ethan, or Chunks would be the YouTuber I'd love to spend a day with. With that, guys, I am going to bring the Q&A to an end here, so thank you to everyone that submitted a question. It's been awesome filling them out for you, hoping that you guys get to know me, a little bit about me and the channel itself. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. There will be more videos like this coming in the future, but without further ado, I will bring it to an end, so see you guys soon.